Have you ever found yourself in a situation like this? You're sitting with friends and the conversation circles around familiar topics, sports, the latest news, or gossip from social media. But the moment you bring up something deeper, like changing habits or a question about the meaning of life, the room suddenly grows quiet. People switch topics, their eyes drift away, and you feel as if you've just fallen out of sync. This doesn't just happen to you. On the journey of self-improvement and personal development, many intelligent and unique thinkers face loneliness. Society easily embraces what is simple, but grows cautious when confronted with intellect and deeper truths. And that is why so many intelligent people feel unheard or worse, misunderstood. But here is the harsh truth. Being intelligent alone is not enough to make you happy or successful. The way you manage and express your intelligence is what truly matters. And in today's video, we were going to explore 8 smart ways to handle intelligence, so you can not only protect yourself, but also turn your intellect into a force for growth and connection. UpMind Journey warmly welcomes you all. And now, let's begin. You know, one of the biggest mistakes intelligent people make is believing that simply speaking the truth is enough. They assume that if their idea is correct, people will listen. But the harsh reality is this: society doesn't react to the truth itself, but to the way the truth is presented. That's why so many intelligent individuals, instead of being admired, are often seen as odd or even shunned. Imagine you're in a company meeting. Everyone nods along to the boss's plan, but you, the one who spots the flaws, stand up to challenge it. You believe your courage will be appreciated. Instead, the room falls silent. A few avoid your gaze, and suddenly, instead of being thanked, you're labeled the difficult one. The question is, how can your intelligence stop being a burden and instead become a bridge? That's when communication strategy comes in. Intelligent people don't need to speak less, but they need to speak more wisely. Instead of throwing truth like a rock, turn it into a question that sparks curiosity. Socrates, the father of Western philosophy, did just that. He didn't impose. He asked, "What do you think if?" When you shift from judgment to invitation, people no longer feel attacked. They feel included. This is the first step in the journey of self-improvement, learning to turn intellect into dialogue, not confrontation. But here's another reality. Even if you know how to speak, not everyone is ready to listen. Intelligent people often forget that not everyone seeks the truth. Most only seek comfort. And if you keep trying to shine in a room full of people who prefer the dark, you'll only exhaust yourself. That's why finding the right community is vital. I remember a friend of mine, a brilliant engineer in Silicon Valley. His co-workers often labeled him too complicated, too high-minded, but when he joined a small group passionate about AI, he truly shined. There he didn't have to hide his intelligence. He was encouraged to share, debate, create. And the result? Their ideas grew into a startup project that changed their lives. Likewise, on the path of personal development, you cannot go far if you're in the wrong environment. Intelligent people need a circle of close companions, few but deep, instead of trying to blend with the masses who are on the same frequency. Remember, a small group of the right people can nurture you more than 1,000 shallow connections. But to find the right community, you need another factor: humility and a willingness to learn. This is where many intelligent people stumble, because intellect can secretly breed pride. I see what they don't. I'm right, they're wrong. And that very attitude makes it harder to find true companions. Humility doesn't mean lowering yourself. It means recognizing that your intellect has limits. Truly intelligent people don't prove they know everything. They show they were always ready to learn more. Imagine this. Instead of saying, "I have the right answer," you say, "I'm thinking in this direction. What do you think?" That spirit of learning opens the door to connection. In fact, I've seen many great leaders who weren't the smartest in the room, but the best listeners. And that is the essence of personal development. Growth isn't about hoarding knowledge for yourself, but about sharing, exchanging, and rising together. However, no matter how skillful or humble you are, there will always be toxic environments, places where your words get twisted, where your intellectual energy is mocked. If you don't protect yourself, you'll soon be drained. This is why you must learn to safeguard your mental energy. This isn't running away. It's wisdom in choosing. Don't waste energy on meaningless social media arguments where no one truly listens. Don't try to convince people who only want to win, not learn. Instead, invest your energy in reading a good book, journaling your reflections, or talking with those who genuinely value you. I want you to imagine your intellect is like a flame. If you let it burn in a room full of toxic winds, it will be extinguished. But if you shield and nurture it, that flame can light up an entire space. So protecting your mental energy isn't selfish. It is the foundation for staying clear and strong on your journey of self-improvement. And as you can see, we've gone through 4 important principles: skillful expression, finding the right community, practicing humility, and protecting your energy. This is how intelligent people not only survive but thrive in a society that isn't always ready for them. Before we move on to the next ways of handling intelligence, I have a message. If you found these insights valuable for your personal growth, please hit like, share this video with friends, and subscribe to the UpMind Journey channel. That's the best way not to miss our latest content on self-improvement and personal development. There's a paradox many intelligent people face. They see the truth clearly, they come up with brilliant ideas, yet when they speak, no one wants to hear. Some even push back. The reason isn't that their intellect is wrong, but that they lack one crucial element: emotional intelligence, EQ. EQ is like a bridge between intellect and people. You can be extremely smart, but if you can't put yourself in someone else's shoes, that intellect becomes a double-edged sword. Imagine giving 100% correct advice in a cold, arrogant tone. People will resist, even if they know you're right. But if you speak with empathy, I understand how stressed you feel. I've been there, and here's what helped me. The wall between you instantly comes down. In self-improvement, building EQ isn't optional. It's essential. It's not just about training the analytical left brain, but also cultivating a heart that listens, that regulates emotions, that keeps relationships balanced. Truly intelligent people aren't just well-informed, they're the kind who make others want to listen. Yet there's a common mistake. Many intelligent people stop at thinking, analyzing, debating, but never put their ideas into action. This is where the second principle comes in: applying intellect through real action. An idea, no matter how brilliant, is useless if it stays locked in your head. Thomas Edison once said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." You can read hundreds of self-help books, fill notebooks with plans, but without action, you'll remain stuck. A friend of mine loved researching health. He could talk about nutrition for hours, but in real life, he skipped workouts, ate poorly, and his health never improved. His intellect was trapped in theory. On the path of personal development, action is the ultimate test of intellect. Don't fear failure. Failure is just data to refine your approach. Being smart doesn't mean never being wrong. It means daring to try, to adjust, and to keep going. Beyond action, another subtle skill is selective sharing. This is an art not everyone knows. Intelligent people are often eager to share truths, to point out mistakes, but truth isn't always welcome. Think back to the last time someone criticized you bluntly. Even if they were right, was it easy to accept? Usually not. We react defensively before logically. That's why intelligent people must choose the timing, tone, and method of sharing. Sometimes silence is wise, Sometimes an open question is more effective than a long speech. I want you to imagine you're holding a precious gem. If you throw it at someone's face, they'll feel pain before they see its value. But if you present it gently, in the right context, they'll treasure it with gratitude. Intelligence works the same way. In self-improvement, knowing when to speak and when to stay silent is a survival skill. And finally, one rarely mentioned but vital approach: discretion. Throughout history, many great thinkers didn't confront society head-on. Instead, they planted seeds of thought in art, culture, or small conversations. They knew truths spoken too early, too loudly, could spark backlash. But when subtly planted, those truths blossomed over time. You see, it's no coincidence that many great ideas were written as novels, allegories, or private journals. That wasn't cowardice, it was strategy. In personal development, sometimes wisdom isn't shouting loudly, but planting a seed in the right place at the right time. One day, that seed can grow to transform an entire generation. So, if you've ever felt tired of your intellect not being recognized, remember this: you don't need to prove yourself to everyone. Choose skillful expression, train your EQ, turn ideas into action, share selectively, and sometimes move quietly. This isn't just a survival strategy, it's how you turn intellect into lasting power. I want you to reflect on this question. If you had a truth that could change the world but knew society wasn't ready to accept it, would you shout it for all to hear, or plant it quietly in the right hearts at the right time? Your answer will determine whether your intellect is a burden or a legacy. We've just walked through 8 essential ways intelligent people should navigate the world: honing skillful communication, finding the right community, staying humble and eager to learn, protecting your mental energy, and also building emotional intelligence, turning ideas into action, knowing when to share, and practicing the art of discretion. If you notice, these aren't just survival tactics for a world that sometimes resists intellect. They're practical foundations for self-improvement and personal development. Growth isn't about knowing more than others. It's about using your intellect wisely, effectively, and sustainably. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one of the 8 principles and apply it for the next 7 days. Maybe it's humility, listening more in a conversation, or training your EQ by stepping into someone's shoes before you respond, or simply opting out of a pointless argument to protect your mental energy. One small step can compound into meaningful change. I also want to hear from you. Which of the 8 approaches matters most to you right now? Drop a comment so we can discuss. Choose A, I'll build my EQ first, or B, I'll focus on finding my right community. Share your take. Your story might inspire someone else. Before we wrap up, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Up Mind Journey so you won't miss new content on self-improvement and personal development. In the description, you'll find special gifts, plus books and courses. Explore them to power your growth journey. You are intelligent, and your mind is a gift. Use it not only to see the truth, but to plant change with care, and who knows, you might be the one who lights up an entire generation.